My name is Alain Numa. I was born in 1973 in Zaire then. Today is called the Republic Democratic of Congo. A place called Lubumbashi. And I was born from a Belgian father and my mother was Rwandese until I had 4 years. And due to the separation between my mom and dad, so we had to leave Lubumbashi and went to Burundi, Bujumbura. That's where I grew up. A Muzungu child in the community of Burundi people and some Rwandese. Because then, why Burundi? Because our parents flew to Burundi due to the bad politics of Rwanda by then. Yeah, I grew up in Burundi, went to school in Burundi, primary and secondary. Alain Numa was a very dynamic young boy. Of course, I couldn't tell that I have that white skin among others. So I had friends, a lot of friends that used to play soccer, football together. I don't have siblings. I only have a sister from another father. Yeah, so that was my childhood. Very dynamic, and of course it was sometimes strange because could meet some other kids, other boys or other children in different areas, and they could start singing Muzungu Nyange. Kabila changa changa. So Muzungu Nyange was a Muzungu who is not a Muzungu 100%, who is not a black, he's just in the middle, that's 50-50. So yeah, that sometimes could hurt me and was like, say, what's wrong with this? Could ask my mom, why am I called this? Am I different too? So I was still young to get the reality, to get the real information from my mom. Yeah, so that was me. When I was still young, it wasn't, because that was, I think it was too early for me to understand the difference between myself and others. But the challenge, or what was hurting seriously, was in schools, you know, being refugees. So we had to go to the school, and sometimes the teachers could stand up and say, let's all Burundi raise your hands. All Banyarwanda raise your hands, all Congolese raise your hands, and I could stay just in the middle of everyone and say, so who are you now? And I was like, see, by the way, who am I? So then I grew up in that situation, and growing, it was going bad to bad as I grew up. Maybe we'll get there, but by then that was the main challenge, and I could go back home and why am I, who are we? Are we Rwandese? Are we Burundians? So that was kind of confusion, but for me it was still free. I wouldn't spend a lot of time thinking about that, so I had to move on. Later, because my mom passed away in 86, I was still young. I was in primary 5, I think, if I remember well. Yeah, and she told me that your father was this, and we separated because of ABCD. And yeah, so we are here because the grandpa is my dad, so he's a Rwandese. But because we are here in Burundi, we had to get legalizing and became Burundians. You see, lack of identity is a big problem. So I started having now the name of my grandpa as my dad and my mom. So reaching in a community could get somewhere, say, where is your ID? So they read the name of the father, it's a Kinyarwanda name. The name has Rwandese, the mom Rwandese. And they look at me, so who are you exactly? So that was a big challenge. Until when I had to fix myself and create my own dad. That's another story. How the lack of identity, how I became a son of one of the Burundian very known. He was a military high rank. And because he was very known in Burundi, so I could call myself the son of that person. So I had to move because Burundian, they knew this guy. So whenever they could ask, who is your dad? The name of this person. He was a Kano by then, and everyone could respect and say, oh, okay, his son, okay. So we understand because the Kano used to go abroad, so maybe he went and married a white woman, so that's why they became, yes, this is the son from him, it's okay. So I could move on freely because I had that name. It wasn't official, just myself. Never. I don't know him. I've never, not even a picture. So even he doesn't know. But because of that problem, and I had to move on in different circumstances, not only at school, but even the society, living in the society where you're going to get services, to get papers. So my dad is this person, and they could respect and say, okay, let him go. I think that's how we grew up. Our parents, they were real patriotic because they could tell us, imagine, that's not only me, everyone who went to join Inkotanyi, by then no one can understand this, how a parent can leave his son or daughter to go and join the army. This is going, you don't know if they will come back one day. So that was the case for me. I saw people going. Every time people could go, so where they have left. We are going, they are going in Inkotanyi. So my turn was then when I decided, so I need to join others. The experience, it wasn't bad. That part of the battle or what, no, that wasn't the experience. But the experience again was this Muzungu. So everyone could look and say, so this person, he's coming from where? Are you a Mzungu? No. So since I could speak Kinyarwanda, and this was making everyone laughing. I said, Kinyarwanda, Mzungu, so who are you exactly? Because I wasn't alone, I mean with this color, so I wasn't alone. Well, very few, but we were there. So people could recognize us as those Wazungu in Inkotanyi. Yeah, that basically. But the experience in general, it was a challenge, of course. This was the first time, but could by chance meet those few friends of yours when you were still young in Burundi, and then so the morale could go on. So we were moving on. So whatever happened, but if nothing, then you keep moving. That was it. No, the experience, yes, of course. The war is war. There's no jokes. There's no party. It was serious, yes, but yeah. Well, thank God we managed to get out healthy and still standing today. Yeah, after '94, I stayed for 4 more years. And I had to leave because that's when they started people who wanted to get out, to go back and keep moving with their lives. That was an opportunity. So in the second phase, I was among the people who got demobilized, and that was my end of that journey. So '98, it was too early to have, I mean, to join any kind of life. By then, it was, I had to join an NGO and working with the NGO. And I moved from the NGO, I went to UNDP. That was during the troubles by Bachenges in '98. So I had to move to UNDP in the security department, because escorting convoys, going there, going to Western province, coming back, delivering food, delivering medication. Yeah, so after that was 97. No, the mobilization was 97. end 97, then I started working in that NGO. So in 1 year, I worked in 3 organizations, 1 NGO, Action Nord Sud, and I moved to UNDP, Africa. Then Africa was the next move was MTN. So MTN was also, that was the beginning. In 2000, it was only 2 years old. Then that's when I joined MTN. So, of course, that has never been my dream, to be a pastor. That, yes, religion was Catholics by default, as others. I grew up in church. I used to be one of the servants in church. So, the pastor thing, that wasn't, first of all, I was converted into the new born again in 2010. I remember that was when I was coming from World Cup. And yeah, so I had to follow my wife. My wife was converted already. She was good, and being a good couple, so I could go with her one of the Sundays, and the rest of the Sundays I could go to my own church until when I moved completely. This was 2011. Yeah, so started attending church until they realized that I had that calling of becoming a pastor. Yeah, so I had to go through the theology courses here in Rwanda, online Kenya. Yeah, and then ordination came in, and I said, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm ready. Then became pastor in 2019. People think I have a big church somewhere. I say, how do you combine the church and MTN? No, I have my boss, my pastor, and we are inside there as the leaders, yes, but not my own church. So callings can be different. You can be called to be a pastor, but you don't have that revelation to have your own church. So until now, there's nothing. Boys to Men last year in November, because I always have my own time where I go to talk to Alain Numa. We go, myself and go out for a week, and then I not only strategizing, evaluating myself, how am I doing, what am I doing, and everything. So that's when I was in that vacation. I had the voice telling me, you need to start this initiative, Boys to Men. Boys to Men is an initiative of boys under 16, and then try to step in. So stepping in, why? Because there's nothing new, because our government is always moving in these different initiatives, campaign against drugs, like everything. So I was like, say, yeah, okay, I can do this, but now how? And so I had my time to pray about this and got the clear direction. So clear direction was number one, to know what are the issues. So you are taking the boys, you want to join the boys, and then what? So I had one, because we have a serious problem. This, again, started realizing by my research and everything, I started realizing, yes, this is a serious problem. A serious problem. We have kids, they need to go through these Rwandan values, Christian values, of course, as well, so the patriotism, and then the fight against drugs, early pregnancies, and then digital, social media, and then entrepreneurship. Then on top of all these trainings, now to take them through the real life, because most of them, you know, living this luxury life, you are eating burgers on tramazine, chips, and this kind of life. And if you're not eating, you are not at school, you are on PlayStation, you're not on PlayStation, at home you have Wi-Fi, you have internet, YouTube, you don't know what they are watching on YouTube. So that was the kind of issues that kept bombarding in my head. I say, yes, this is yes. So if it's a revelation, then telling my God, I'm ready. If I'm ready, then bring those kids. Then, yeah, that's how we started. We released a link, we got registration. My partner, the person I told about this revelation, he has a boarding school in Bugesera here in Nyamata, Narama, and he was the same man. I'm with you, let's move. So a week down, when we opened the registration, a week we had already 60 kids. 60 kids who registered. The registration was your name, name of parents, your contact number. If you have any issue, I mean any disability, no, or any medical problem. And yeah, so the day came, we had the boys, jumped the buses, and we moved. It was fun at the beginning, and then reaching there, because my plan was the 2-3 first days to go serious Kinyarwanda traditional food. So you could see a young boy meeting the first time cassava mixed with the beans, and they say, what is this? So this is the life we are coming in. So one of the boy came to me and said, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I have an assessment to do at school assignment. People on holiday, why are you going? So the beginning, it wasn't easy, but the full 7 days we had, it was a lot of fun. Myself, I had to learn about a lot of things. We had different speakers, includes our own Reverend Rutaisire. We had the mayor of Bugesera. We had a CEO of Arise Rwanda. We had a teacher teaching entrepreneurship. Myself, engaging in different topics. It was fun. So if you allow me, let me give you a sample of the day, how it was look like. Wake up at 5, take a shower, cold, you know, now the cold shower, come back, make your bed. After making your bed, to the ground. They could do mchaka, running, jogging for 1.5 kilometers, singing like boys, and we'll come back, some few exercises, and then go back. Shower again. After that, that was 8:30 to go for a morning devotion, 30 minutes, praise and worship, word of God, that's it. Go back for breakfast, where they could make porridge and bread, no blue band, no butter, no nothing. So after that, cleaning your own plates. Go now join the kitchen, see how they are cooking, help them. So those were domestic tasks they could do, cooking, or they clean in the farm, or they bring wood, firewood, all these activities. So it was totally new to all of them. Of course, we had few, like 5 kids who came from the other district. So that nothing new for them. It was easy. Even the food, even the activities, that was new. But the rest, 85%, it was totally new. Yeah, so, but at the end, it was fun. Everyone loved it. The peak was already here, where kids were like, can we add more days so we stay here? Yeah, so it was an inspiring session for myself. I didn't have sponsors. I decided, if this is a revelation, let me go the way I can. And it went well. We had a graduation. Every kid went back home with a certificate, and you are the man now. Because the concept was boys to men. We said, boys, yes, you are here to become what? A man. So it was fun looking at the pictures, the videos that they were making. It was a lot of fun. So that was the idea. Through kids, I could understand and and see who they are exactly. There are different categories, and you can know they are coming from different families. See, someone addicted on phone, someone addicted on what? They didn't have phone, they didn't have. But I wish if it's possible, it's something that can always be during all holidays. But yes, it's going to be an annual. Hope the revelation is not going to stop me again. But we are moving on. The second edition, it will happen next year in the holidays. And then what we achieved, it's more than I expected. The feedback from parents, this was now post-camp. Following up with parents, I said, how far is my boy? I said, you can't tell now. They are no longer in chips. They're even requesting themselves to eat kaunga, to eat cassava, to eat these potatoes. It's something that even parents are proud of. I said, thank you so much. We had not issues, but we have different categories of kids, those who are always quiet, want to live on their own corner. So they also change in their families. They can speak, they can move, they can do things. So getting feedback from parents is something I just say that thank you, Lord. Maybe this was the plan. So we are trying to make it bigger or the same number, depending on the capacity of whoever is accommodating us, who is Gasore Sales Foundation in Harama. They've been good to us. So we had several entertainment. The day of learning about patriotism, we had the mayor of Gesera telling them about the Rwandan values, how to love your country. And after that, we had to watch the movie, The 600 about the liberation. I'm telling you, this was amazing. Whatever you get as a dream, as idea, if you feel like this idea is great, don't think about you will do it. Please do it right there. Don't wait, because by the time you're waiting, there is another idea coming in, there is another coming in, and then it's just creating the confusion in the head. You are losing everything. Whatever you have in your mind, stand up and do it. My all principles, there are always 3 in whatever I do. Whenever I have this idea, if it's a revelation, I start, because one is think big, yes, as our president always said, think big. That after thinking big, then what? Start small. After starting small, definitely you will grow big and you meet your expectation. That's simple. Those are 3 points of mine. Think big, start small, and grow big.